Just finishing this up.
All right, yeah, just mute yourself then quick. Sorry, I pressed the button. My bad. But yeah, we should be live. So let's get into these first few questions. And I have an idea what these first few questions are going to entail, and it's something that Bush isn't really going to like right there. But so Jared says,
I'm not talking about that game.
What's up, Jared?
I'm not talking about it.
And then we get. Ooh.
All I'm gonna say is that Tom Brady probably saw them dancing in the locker room after Jameis eating the W's, and in typical Saints fashion, they're probably gonna choke against us in the playoffs.
That's what I was thinking too, low key, bro. Like, I watched that video, and like as soon as I saw that video on Twitter, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna send this in the group chat, and Bush is literally gonna be so upset just looking at this shit. Fucking Sean Payton just like vibing.
Oh, like have all your fun. It's gonna be fine when you guys get one and done in the playoffs again. Like, cool.
Oh man, just a fucking mess. So yeah, Lois is going off. Justin Herbert, the GOAT. Big facts. The guy is a fucking animal. Fuck. What's up, Nick? Yo. Spicy hot taco in here too. Yo. Thank you guys for helping my team this week. Anytime, Javon. Appreciate you coming through the live stream right before the games as well. Nick says, McCaffrey, what's up with him? I need to check that situation. I need to see what the updates are with that shoulder. Obviously, as is.
I would advise any of you who have Christian McCaffrey to go to the Fantasy Doctors YouTube channel and watch Dr. Jesse Morse's vid.
I'd also say like Mike Davis is going to be on waivers a lot. Again, I'm not going to mention him in the waiver show because he should be owned in most leagues right now.
If he's out there, you drop your fab on him.
Yeah, like all of it. Even if it's just a precaution, even if McCaffrey is slated to come back this week, if you're a McCaffrey owner, like you need to have Mike Davis at this point. There's just no other way.
You shouldn't have been dropping Mike Davis if you have McCaffrey anyway. I don't think people who have McCaffrey drop Mike Davis.
Agreed. So Josh is laughing. Man. There was so much opportunity. I
jinxed it. Do you remember during the live stream in the morning? I was like, man, we're telling all these people to start Justin Jackson. Watch him just have a complete bust game. Totally jinxed it.
To be fair, I talked about this in the recap show yesterday, but man, I was going off on a tangent. If Justin Jackson does not get hurt in this game, everything that I said in the ranking show came to fruition. The Raiders give up the most targets to the position in the league. Guess what? Kalen Ballage and Josh Kelly were catching balls out of the backfield. They were bad against the run as well. Guess what? Kalen Ballage, 15 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown. Kalen Ballage had like fucking 15, 16 points in this game. Justin Jackson's in that situation. He's scoring 20. It's annoying because like you can't predict this type of shit, but like the matchup, the scenario was all in place for him to absolutely have a great game. And like it just got hurt.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Like I had him in so many lineups. I lost so many weeks this week because of him in my lineup. Oh, in my main money league, my two running backs, David Johnson and Justin Jackson. Yeah. I lost by 40 points because David Johnson, Justin Jackson, and Jordan Reed combined for 2.5 points.
Oh, you want to know something crazy? Had I sat DJ Chark for CeeDee Lamb in my money league, I would have lost by 0.15.
Oh, my God.
So had I done that, I would have lost by I barely would have lost.
Also, talking about that, I had DJ Chark in my lineup all week. Jonathan Taylor gets ruled like, oh, he's going to play in this game. I'm like, okay, fuck it. Put him in for DJ Chark last second. And Jonathan Taylor scored. I talked about this on the recap too. Jonathan Taylor scores a touchdown, looks good in the first drive, has one fumble, and he doesn't see the rest of the game. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, obviously, like we've talked about this so many times, but man, like when you personally see it as a JT owner, like he looked good in the game. This is his first game where I can honestly say he looked like a good, efficient running back. Has one fumble, gets the Rojo treatment. You're out of here. Like, Unbelievable, man. But hey, I see first drive, he puts up like 8.5 PPR points.
Oh man, did you see the freaking Bucks? Speaking of Rojo, did you see the Bucks had the like 5 carries?
Yeah, five total
rush attempts, and I think one of them was
a kneel. Yeah, I talked about that in the recap show too.
Oh my God.
5 carries for 8 yards.
I was like, all right, so like someone's going to spin the narrative that Rojo got like 75% of the running back carries or something like that. It's because he got 3 carries out of 4.
Man, he did have a few receptions. I mean, Leonard Fournette led
the team. He looked good on his touches, except he got phased out of that game completely.
Yeah.
The next, the schedule coming up for the Bucks though is aside from the Rams game, I think is like all favorable matchups.
Damn.
And like in the playoffs, the Bucks have like I think it's like Falcons, Lions, Vikings, the 3 weeks of the playoffs or something like that.
What the fuck?
It's ridiculous. I'm going to be starting like Deshaun Watson. His schedule is super favorable. He's going to get me to the playoffs, but once I'm in the playoffs, I'll probably be starting Brady because he has just some easy ass matchups.
Does have a week 13 bye though, so keep that in mind, y'all.
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be tough if you don't have a bye locked up by then. You need a win.
The Dobbins window is closing. Do you see my tweet?
Yeah. Oh, the snap.
The Dobbins window is closing. If you don't have J.K. Dobbins yet, this is the week to buy him because the dude he's the starting running back on the team. He's getting over a 60% snap share. He's running like more than double the amount of routes that Edwards is running. Yeah, they're getting similar touches, but give me J.K. Dobbins with 15 to 18 touches. In not the two best run defenses in the league that they've played the last 2 weeks. They played the Steelers and Colts the last 2 weeks. They're not going to be playing anyone near that caliber. The next 2 weeks, I tweeted out their schedule. Their only other bad matchup is the Steelers again, and Dobbins had a good game against the Steelers.
If you don't have Dobbins at this point, for the record, this is like, again,
if you can get him for Jonathan Taylor right now, you go do it. And
easily.
Even if you have to add someone, if you added like T. Higgins and Jonathan Taylor, I would totally do that.
We're actually going to get into a question regarding something similar to that later on. I saw T. Higgins and something. Oh, no. Okay, I see Lowe's question. No, like, screw off. I talked about this in the recap show too. This may seem very short-sighted because, again, like, there's so many factors on like what each person can own on their individual teams. But I just feel like it's going to be a situation where if you don't have one of Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, or Alvin Kamara, you're not winning a championship. You're just not. They're at a completely different level compared to everyone else in fantasy football right now. Like it's silly because I was telling you about the Mixon and Diggs trade.
I think Aaron Jones is at that level too.
It's close, man. Like realistically, like obviously you don't take out one game, but I mean, other than that one game particularly, like he's been a low on RB1 the rest of the year.
That is true. Aaron Jones hasn't, like, aside from the 40-point game that he had, he has been a little bit inconsistent.
Like I would say right now, Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb are probably like the two guys.
I think Nick Chubb is going to go bonkers when he comes back.
Oh, I agree.
I think Miles Sanders is probably going to be good when he comes back too.
I would say them two or them guys. Joe Mixon's going to probably do a lot better considering
whenever Eckler comes back, he'll probably be pretty good. I have no idea what I really need Eckler to come back in both our listener league and Scott's Tots because I have him in both leagues and I'm 6-3 in both leagues. So I just need to get to like 7-5 before they come back, and then I should be all right.
In Scott's Thoughts right now, I'm somehow like I think I'm 7-2 in that league right now, and literally like 3/4 or like a half of my team have basically gotten hurt. Like it's fucked. I've been in a super flex. I've been starting one quarterback every single week, and it's Kyler Murray.
Well, I mean, he's been fucking incredible.
Oh man,
I play Dylan next week in Scott's Tots, and he has Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Julio Jones, Todd Gurley all on by.
Yeah, that's fucked. Okay, let's get into a couple of these. Oh yeah, fuck. I talked about that like in the recap Bills again. Man, the Bills looked fantastic. I talked about Josh Allen.
To be fair though, that is the worst passing defense in the league.
Oh, easily. Maybe in history, man. Maybe in history. Like on pace, they are the worst passing defense in history. The Cowboys were on pace for that, but apparently these last couple of weeks, as soon as Dak gets hurt, they kind of want to step it up a bit and be quote unquote serviceable on defense. If Dak gets the serviceable, okay, I'm not going to talk about Dak right now, but man, it's just annoying. I'm actually cheesed we didn't hold them to 0. Oh, he's a Saints fan.
Oh, fuck you.
Thoughts on Scary Terry with Alex Smith? Scary Terry is just quarterback proof, man.
I just want to point out that if anyone watched the start-sit show, this is the last time I'm talking about this game because I want it completely erased from my memory after this. On the start-sit show, I said that Donovan Smith in particular, but most of our Bucs offensive line, aside from Tristan Wirfs, because he was fucking awesome last night. Ryan Jensen and Donovan Smith tend to struggle against the Saints. I don't know what it is. Maybe they just know their tricks. Like they're divisional opponents. They know probably how to beat the other guy, but they tend to struggle against the Saints. And that was the problem. And especially without a first team All-Pro this year in Ali Marpet, who's been the best guard in the NFL this year. Yeah. Him not playing was huge. And as soon as they said that, I'm like, that is not good. because Marpet is the only part of that left side of the line that usually plays well against the Saints. And I figured Joe Haig had like a 35 PFF grade. He was terrible replacing Marpet. So, I mean, I kind of expected them to dominate us up front. I thought they were going to win this game after the Marpet thing happened, but I didn't expect them to get absolutely destroy us like that.
Yeah, for real.
That was terrible.
Anyways, I do think Scary Terry is pretty much quarterback proof. He's top 15 rest of the year.
Dude, Scary Terry is not ever probably going to be a top 5 quarterback unless he gets like Justin Fields next year and like he's like an elite quarterback or something. But he's not going to be lower than top 15.
Could he be Allen Robinson until he gets a good quarterback? Absolutely.
Probably. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly how I see it too. If he gets, I'm still saying Justin Fields. I've been saying Justin Fields to Washington this whole fucking time.
Please
I think it's going to
happen. Well, when Dallas gets the second overall pick and trades that pick to a team for the
you're going to take Sewell if you have the second overall pick.
Please, dude. I know. I love him, but like
he's a franchise left tackle. You don't pass franchise left tackles.
On the flip side, though, Dak showed earlier this year that offense was still capable of putting up 33 points per game despite not having the tackles.
It's still capable, but you need if Tyron Smith cooked, man. Like you need a left tackle, and if you have the second overall pick, and
I trade down, man.
From what I've seen with people talking about Sewell, he's one of the best tackle prospects they've seen in a while. I've heard since Tyron Smith I've heard people say that. So
I easily agree, but the way I'm looking at it is you consider yourself a contender. Yes. We had a bad start to the year, but realistically, you expect that if you add pieces to that defense, you're going to be a contender because Dak with a serviceable defense is winning you that division.
Easily. And I think the route to go, unfortunately for you guys, is free agency to fix the defense because I don't think you're going to be able to draft impact guys immediately, especially at the positions you need them. It's like secondary, and they tend not to like come into the league right away and just be elite.
And that's why, in my opinion, the draft scenario that they should follow is if a team like the Panthers, for example, are picking 9th, 10th, around that area, and you have the second overall pick and you have Justin Fields, and you look at it from the Panthers' perspective, they have everything, in my opinion, but a franchise long-term quarterback. Yes, Teddy Bridgewater's playing fine right now, but he's going to be...
Their coaching staff is showing that they're great.
Exactly.
I think Joe Brady's going to be gone, to be honest. I think he might get poached.
If you're the Panthers and you know that Justin Fields, outside of, obviously, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback prospect I've ever watched, but Justin Fields is probably top 5 of the last decade. Like that guy is a fucking beast.
The way he's playing right now, he's definitely making a case for it. I would say if he was coming out last year, based on and I haven't actually looked at him in close, he'd be behind Tua and Burrow for me because I thought those two guys were just incredible prospects.
I would honestly put Fields ahead.
I probably would have put Fields ahead of anyone in the 2018 class, though, with Mayfield and Darnold and them.
I honestly think Fields, like I love Tua as well. I honestly think Fields is a better overall prospect than what Tua was. Like
I don't think so. I think Tua was a super prospect, man. I think he was right up there with any of them.
I mean, I've said this on record multiple times, but Justin Fields to me is Dak Prescott. Justin Fields to me, in terms of size, athletic ability.
I've been saying Cam this whole time. I see Cam.
I can see that too. I think his down the field accuracy and placement is a lot better than what Cam has shown, which is why I kind of lean Dak a little bit with that. But I mean, you can make the case due to athleticism with Cam as well. Yeah. If you're the Panthers and you know that type of franchise quarterback is available at the second overall pick, and Dallas is going to ideally lock up their long-term starter and Dak. If they don't, they're just fucking retarded.
I think the QBs are going to get pushed up the board this year, man. I think
they have to be, man.
I think Wilson and Trask are going to go in the first round because everyone's going to need to be Wilson, I think, is playing like he deserves to go in the first
top 10.
I think for sure, it was in the past, maybe in 2019 when Drew Lock fell to the first round and Dwayne Haskins fell to 15. If it was a quarterback landscape like that, I bet Zach Wilson's like a back end of the first round pick. But
I think he's going higher, man.
He thought a top 6 pick. Right now.
Zach Wilson to me is making the case to be in the Trey Lance range. That's how well he's been playing.
Yeah.
Now I prefer Trey Lance still slightly. Again, I kind of talked about it with you. I watched more tape on Trey Lance. I think his deep ball placement needs a little bit of work.
Landing spot's going to be huge for Lance, though. If he goes to a bad organization, he's going to be shit.
He reminds, again, not just because of the school.
He reminds me of Josh Allen.
He reminds me of Carson Wentz, man.
Yeah, I see Josh Allen in terms of his ceiling and floor type thing. If he goes to the Panthers, I think that's a great fit.
Oh,
because that's definitely a great coaching staff. Trey Lance to the Panthers make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
if he goes to the Giants or something,
I think again, if the Cowboys,
I don't know if Washington would be able to develop Trey. I think Washington needs Fields or Lawrence who are more ready to play. I think
this may sound a little biased again because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I honestly think if the Cowboys tanked enough to get the second overall pick, you trade down with, say, the Panthers to 10, you end up picking up a 1, a 2, a 3 this year, and maybe a 1 and 2 next year because Fields is that level of a prospect. You go Farley or Surtain at 10. You take the best available edge and DT in the second round, and then you could still fill out your back end as well.
Those scenarios almost never work out, though, where you're like, oh, we'll just trade down, get this guy, that guy, and this guy. Like, that almost never works out. Anyway, we've been talking about the draft.
Sorry. Let's get into some questions. Sorry, y'all. If you could deal with the depth, I absolutely love that deal for you.
I don't even care what your team makeup is. I would do that in a heartbeat.
AJ Brown's a top 7 or 8 receiver rest of the year.
As much as I like Mike Evans as like a buy low candidate right now, I still see him as like a top 20 receiver. Like AJ Brown is a locked and loaded every week starter. I looked at his game logs earlier today, and he has like 11 points as his worst game since he came back from injury. And he's got like 17, 18, 22, 26, 18. Like,
yeah, I agree.
So consistent, such a stud.
Hi, guys. Rest of the season, Parker, Samuel, or Scantling. Give me Parker there.
As much as I don't want to admit that Curtis Samuel looks good. So I'll give him, he's worth mentioning in this because, like, if you asked me this 2 weeks ago, I'd have been like, it's Parker easily. But I do think it's starting to become a discussion why Curtis Samuel is being used the way we thought DJ Moore is going to be used.
But is it Curtis Samuel or Deebo Samuel?
I think it's Curtis Samuel personally.
Oh, fair.
Deebo's hurt. I just assume he's kind of out of sight of line.
Yeah, that's fair. I would still prefer Parker regardless of which Samuel it is, but I can definitely see the case for Samuel given the usage he's seen. I mean, DJ Moore has been completely phased out, which is sad for me. I talked about this on the recap show, but my wide receiver 6 going into the year is getting utilized like a fucking deep ball receiver when he's like easily the best overall consistent player at that position on the roster, and they're just not using him as us.
It's weird.
Should I trade away CH and Kenny Robb for A-Rob and Mostert? Next week is
Wait, why? Someone's going to take Kenny G?
Yeah, I would do that.
Oh, I guess. Okay, so Kenny G's injured and so is Mostert, so that kind of makes sense.
I mean, Mostert, when he comes back, I mean, he's shown that when he is healthy, he's the lead back.
Yeah, he's actually been the one consistent factor in the 49ers backfield is that when Raheem Mostert's there, he's the best back there. And he's also, I mean, what is he, the fastest running back in the league? He might be the fastest running back in the league.
He's like, easily in the top 3 or so.
Like he houses 70-yard touchdowns like they're nothing. Like he's exactly the type of player you want if you're like RB1s like Alvin Kamara or something. Because you have Alvin Kamara who's like getting you so many points every single week. And then you have a guy like Raheem Mostert who can literally get you 40.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there. I'm glad Michael Thomas is back. Yeah, I know Bush isn't, but you know,
he didn't do shit. He fucking caught like a couple slants and gave his little first down signals. Like you did nothing. You did absolutely nothing, Thomas. It's so bad.
I mean, I watched that game
Also, Cam Jordan, stop fucking celebrating. You got shut down by a rookie right tackle. 0 hurries, 0 pressures. Trey Henderson fucking ran train on Donovan Smith. He did the same thing in week 1.
Yeah, fuck. Well, we'll get into that. See a couple of my friends down low too. Fancy Doctors is the GOAT. Yeah, I mean they break down all the injuries very well.
Dude, Dr. Morris literally gets them out like immediately too. It's like 5 minutes after the injury happens in the game. He's like, I think this guy fell on his shoulder or whatever. So I'm going with it. He literally called out CMC's injury like right after the game. He's like, I think it's an AC joint sprain.
Yeah, I think in the recap video by accident yesterday or in a comment, I said MC joint by accident. But yeah, no, I meant to say AC joint because that's the injury Dak had last year. No, like, fuck off, Lasardo. No.
Here, I want to get your thoughts on this. So so in my home league, I got 2 flexes, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm between, so I have Ayuk, T. Higgins, DJ Chark, J.K. Dobbins, Ronald Jones. One of those has to be my wide receiver 2, and then I need 2 flexes. And right now, I currently have T. Higgins in there.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to have Ayuk in there as well because he has a good matchup against New Orleans. I'm going to sit Chark because he's got Green Bay, and I think Alexander's probably going to shadow him. And then I'm probably going to play Dobbins over Jones.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
I think they play New England. And New England, dude, New England is literally 30th in DVOA against the run.
Yeah,
They're terrible against the run.
I've seen that as well.
Obviously, Hightower being
Collins,
all their freaking guys being on opt-out list or whatever, like, has ruined their run defense. It's terrible.
Yeah, no, I see it. I think I'd agree with you there. The one that's the closest I would say is Chark.
I just saw Tyler's comment. I totally remember that.
Let me clarify this. First of all, I didn't finish the sentence. I stopped it before I could say that. Second of all, I mean, are we really considering an injury as a bust now? Because I mean, that is pretty petty.
Also, what happened in the bets? I don't remember who I bet on.
I have it written down here. So Cousins versus Locke. Locke absolutely ran away with
Locke
that.
hooked him, yeah.
And then
you can jump the first 2 quarters of the game.
I would have went 2-0. It was John Brown versus Mike Williams. Mike Williams last second touchdown, drops it and gets hurt.
Yeah, John Brown had a solid game.
So yeah, you 1-1 this week for both of us. But man, if Mike Williams holds on to that touchdown, I fucking go 2-0.
That's totally the type of thing that Mike Williams would have caught too. I was kind of surprised he didn't catch that.
Oh, he got absolutely annihilated in the air and dropped it.
I know, but like he normally catches those.
Yeah, that's fair. He's such a good real life receiver, but not someone you want to own in fantasy. If that makes sense.
I don't really know would he be better staying in Los Angeles? Because he's going to be in LA next year because they picked up a 5th-year option. I actually was like, low key, I'm like, oh my God, what if the Chargers take like Jalen Waddle next year with Herbert? But Mike Williams is going to be there next year. So
yeah, that's fair.
They'll probably take a receiver later in the draft and pair him with take
Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney.
I think Sage Surratt would be a great fit.
Sage Surratt would be nice. A guy I can see too, if he somehow falls to them, man. Like I've been talking about it a lot. But what about like I was gonna say Amon-Ra. What about like a Tamorrion Terry?
Oh, that'd be a good fit too.
An absolute speed factor because you got the size of Mike Will, the route running, and Keenan. You had just an absolute burner.
I think speed is what they need. I think Waddle would be the perfect pick for them.
Mm-hmm. And Terry, for the record, I mean he's 6'4" and runs in the 4.3s. Like that guy is just a freak athlete. But yeah, relax, Tyler. If I started, I still don't understand why you started Duncan.
I wouldn't have done
Marcus
that.
Robinson.
If you asked me on this thing, I would not have told you to start John Brown. Didn't DeMarcus Robinson have? Or sorry, I would have not have told you to start DeMarcus Robinson. But didn't DeMarcus Robinson have a touchdown?
I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure he scored a touchdown.
Maybe, but he was probably his only catch of the day.
Positive he did because I have CEH, so I remember and it was in the red zone too. So I was like, oh yeah, give the ball to CEH and then just throw it to anyone else.
I thought he had. Or to be fair, the league he's talking about is the league I'm in with him. It's a full PPR, so I guess John Brown 8 for 99 probably outweighed that touchdown.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, we would have told you to go John Brown there. I could see it. Hopefully. Hey, appreciate that, Javon. Appreciate that. Good stuff on your team this week. I was up 24 with Thomas left, and my opponent had Brady Brown.
Antonio.
Oh.
That sucks. That sucks for your opponent. I would have been really fucking mad if that was me.
Fuck. Why did I read that as one name, Brady Brown?
Oh, dude. In one league, I had I think I was up I was down 9 points going into Sunday Night Football, and I almost lost. I had Brady and Rojo, and I almost lost. I was down I won by 1.2 or something like that. And I had Brady and Rojo down 7 points or something like that.
That's fucked. Let me see here. Hey, let's go. Derek Henry. Yeah, no, I've seen that. I mentioned that in the ranking show as well. I mean, his playoff schedule is absolutely absurd. If you could buy him low for the record after that quote unquote down game against a really good defense in Chicago, I mean, go for it, man. Because he's going to be.
If you want to offload Derrick Henry because of his playoff schedule, there's only 3 running backs I would take. Straight up for him.
No, he's saying that's a good schedule, so buy him.
Oh, it's a good schedule.
Yeah. Jags, Lions, and Packers.
I didn't even read the teams.
Oh, yeah, no, he's got
Jags,
a great
Lions, and Packers. Holy shit.
I'm talking about it, man. Realistically, a 6.8 point week.
I might have to trade Kamara for him.
I still wouldn't be able to.
I wouldn't do that either, but I might have to trade Dalvin Cook for him in one league because I'm pretty sure doesn't Dalvin have a hard schedule? I know he has the Bucks in week 16.
Dude, I don't care what Dalvin's schedule is at this point. He is the best pure runner in the league right now.
That's only freakish. Because Nick Chubb isn't healthy.
Fair. But I mean, this guy, Dalvin Cook, he runs like a gazelle. I don't know how to describe. It's just a work of art watching him run. He's averaging on 144 carries. He averages 6 yards per carry.
Isn't it ridiculous how it almost seems like some running backs, their offensive line tries harder?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
It's so weird. Dalvin Cook, it seems like he has holes every single time he runs.
I could say that too sometimes for Pollard versus Zeke, man.
It's when Leonard Fournette runs for the Bucks, it's everyone on the Bucks O-line forgot how to run block. It's he gets blown up every single play. I'm like, oh my God. And then when Rojo runs, it's so much better.
Yeah, for real. I have Kamara, CMC, Sanders, Russ. Oh my God, yeah, you're winning that league.
Yeah, studs win you championships. Don't let anyone ever. This is like a thing of mine. I don't like when people pick David Montgomery and Le'Veon Bell and Robert Woods and all these safe players. Yes, it's okay to have one or two of those guys on your team, but ultimately, upside wins you championships. The guys who are going to be highest owned on championship rosters this year are going to be Alvin Kamara and DK Metcalf and Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams and Will Fuller and Russell Wilson and Josh Allen, like these, and Kyler Murray, like these guys that have crazy ceilings. No one's winning a championship because they drafted David Montgomery or David
Johnson.
Even like I don't even hate some of these guys. Like I liked Robert Woods coming into the year. I knew he was going to be safe, but I should have. I made the decision in my home league. I had Robert Woods and DK Metcalf and Stephon Diggs on the board, and I picked Robert Woods over both of them, and I was really fucking mad.
That happened with me. I
bitched out.
I picked Woods over Ridley, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing. I ended up getting with AJ Brown with the other pick in that Ben because I had the second overall pick. But man, it just goes to show you, obviously you want safety on your rosters, but in the early portions of the draft, in my opinion, especially at
receiver, there's no need to safe receivers.
Exactly. I mean, I'm looking at it realistically.
Theoretically, if you go the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th round, you could have taken in the 3rd round. You could have gotten who am I thinking of? I just had it in my mind. Either way, you could end up with AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, Stephon Diggs, and there's one other guy that I was thinking of that's been really good this year.
Calvin
Ridley. You could have had those 4 guys, and if you theoretically, you obviously all 4 of those guys hit, but theoretically 2 of those guys missed, you're probably still fine.
Yeah, say for instance you started Kamara and say you had the 3rd overall pick, you started Kamara and back. By the way, for the record, I messaged you a couple times. We have to have a nice little redraft just to kind of recap how fantasy football's been versus what it was going into the year. Because I'm sure if we did a redraft now, the draft board would be completely changed, completely.
I saw Aiden Winks tweeted out the fantasy finishers, right, or the highest ranking players at their position and where they were drafted.
Yeah,
and I think at receiver, the only top 5 round picks were Adams, Metcalf, and Julio. I'm pretty sure.
Hopkins too now.
And Hopkins, sorry, and Hopkins.
Yeah. All right, let's get into a couple of these. But man, it's just crazy when you think about that. Who do you think I can package CH with to get Derrick Henry? Dobbins, Connor, or Chubb? First of all, I would definitely not put Chubb or Connor in there because they're top.
I would go CH and Connor for Derrick Henry.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I would. I don't think obviously I would say Dobbins. I don't think the Derrick Henry owner is taking that though. So
yeah. And by the way,
Dobbins obviously do that, but I don't think he's taking that. So I would probably say CEH and Connor would probably be enough to get Derrick Henry, but I don't think I would do CEH and Chubb.
Yeah, and also he said, should I try for CMC? Absolutely. I mean, if you can get either CMC or Henry, I would prefer CMC.
I don't want to trade for CMC right now.
Really? I know, but Maxi's going to be out 1 game. If you're in a 7,
I don't think so, dude. I think he could be out 2 to 3 weeks.
Maybe I got to check the updates, but I mean, if you're 7-2, you're basically locked up for the playoffs. You can get CMC for the playoffs there. I mean, also keep in mind the dynamic is too that CEH still has his bye week as well.
Yeah. 13. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a big deal.
So I mean, if that helps at all, say you're going after a stud running back like Henry, Clyde, or not Henry, or not Clyde, sorry, Henry, CMC, Kamara, or Cook. Keep in mind, CMC does have his week 13 bye, so that would put him at the 4th spot of that tier, if that makes sense. But ultimately, I still think when he comes back, if you have him in the playoffs, if you have a bye week, he's going to win you championships. He's that talented of a player. He's that good of an asset. So if you need, again, you're in 7-2. If you want to be more of a risk averse, if you will, I would go with Henry because again,
I don't think I just wouldn't. I personally wouldn't trade for CMC right now.
That's fair. I still think even with the bye week, he's a top 4 asset. Even with the injury, he's still a top 4 asset.
If you include the bye week and you assume he's out 2 to 3 weeks, that means you're getting him for what, week 12 and then playoffs. That's worth it, but is it worth moving CEH and Connor? Because unless you have crazy good running back depth, you're probably going to take a couple L's.
I mean, then you got Chubb and Dobbins. You can kind of deal with it there. I mean, I understand it's risky, but at 7-2, even if you even if you lose the bye week hypothetically in that spot, having CMC for the playoffs doesn't really it makes up for the bye week, if that makes sense. But again, if you can go with Henry, you want to be safer there. Henry for even Connor and CH would definitely be a fine deal too, in my opinion.
Is it me or do you have a gut feeling that this is the Brashad Perriman game?
I have an odd again. It's either going to be him
I didn't put him in
or
my
Denzel
lineup.
Mims.
I kind of low key feel like he could go off.
Yeah, I was struggling with that between him and Denzel Mims, man.
I actually might take Mims out of my lineup and put Perriman in because I actually think he's better.
Let me see what my lineup is right now. Okay, so right now I have Cam Newton, Damian Harris, Jamison Crowder, Rex Burkhead, and Ryan Izzo in.
You have Ryan Izzo in your lineup?
Yeah, I know it's gross, but I mean, I looked at it. His targets over these last few games haven't been too bad. He's gone, I mean, not great, but I don't know what else to do. I mean, Tyler was mentioning Isaiah Zuber. I mean, I guess that could be an upside type play.
I didn't even have Mims in my lineup. I thought I did. I just from the Jets. I just have Crowder and Gore.
I'm thinking maybe Izzo just catches some garbage ass touchdown on the goal line, but like either way, he's clearly the worst option. And at $5.5K, you can't get much anyways. I have Cam Newton, the MVP, Damian Harris, Jamison Crowder, and Rex Burkhead.
Should I play Perriman or should I play Gore? I'm going Perriman.
Oh, Perriman easily over Gore. You go for upside in shit games like this, and Gore just doesn't have any.
Perriman could catch a bomb. He's got 4.27 speed.
Just noticed that flip. My bad. What should I offer for Chubb? I got CH, Edmonds, Jackson, Gibson, Ayuk, Higgins, Ruggs, and Akers.
I would pair if you can pair two of your running backs and get Chubb. I would do it,
or even like CH and Higgins. I wouldn't mind that.
I don't think the Chubb owner's taking that.
CH and Gibson.
I'd be comfortable offering that for Chubb.
Yeah, that's fair. Who should I trade Zeke for? Anybody? Like, don't take that literally, but I mean, like, in my opinion,
over Zeke rest of the season.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Mark Ingram could come back soon.
Even if he does, I mean, give me a potential league winner down the stretch. Zeke is like a touchdown. He's a worse David Montgomery, is what he is.
I think I would take Zeke over JK rest of the season, but it's pretty close.
That's fair. I'm tied for 7-1. I'm technically, a whole lot of gang shit. Let's go.
Oh, one thing that's I talk about the post buy rookie bump or whatever. CEH is on buy this week, so I mean, he gets. I mean, he was already getting huge volume, but maybe he gets like a bump in like the passing game volume or something because he has been sharing the third down role with Darrell Williams and Le'Veon Bell. So
yeah,
and I tweeted out the pass blocking numbers of the running backs earlier today, and basically like Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers, CEH, and Antonio Gibson have been bad in pass protection. DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, James Robinson, and Zach Moss have been good in pass protection. And if you kind of take the difference between those two groups of running backs, the guys who are bad in pass protection have seen their roles like kind of diminish and have been struggling to take over their backfield. And some of them had their backfield to begin with, and they've seen their roles diminish. And then the other guys, Moss, Dobbins, Swift, and James Robinson, are like ascending because they've been good in pass protection. They've been good on third down, and Dobbins and Swift especially, and Robinson all are like the third down backs on their team.
Is it crazy if I say Swift is a top 15 running back rest of the season?
Yes, it is, because he still has an as a coach.
And I get that, but that just shows to me how bad the running back landscape is.
But it also shows to me how shit the coaching staff is.
That's fair.
Because they should be being used more, because it's not like he's fucking up on third. Like,
he's been fantastic, man.
He's been, like, his pass protection's been good. Like, he needs to get the bulk of the carries too.
Yeah, I agree.
For whatever reason.
So, relax, Mosh. It was a dumb deal on the other person's part. Like, the whole league knows that.
Lamar and Tyreek, huh?
You said your trading is elite. It was just a bad accept from the other guy. Like, I don't know what to say. Yeah. Well, we're not gonna get into that, but come on, Mosh. Like, coming in and hyping that up, like, you ripped him off. You know it. Because he lost Dak, and the other guy's like, oh, fuck, I need a quarterback, and he trades his best receiver for the quarterback.
I put out that poll today saying who's the biggest bust in fantasy. My vote went for Lamar. I think Lamar's the biggest bust in fantasy.
My vote, actually, I talked about it. I
think JT, the only tiebreaker was the fact that Lamar went for ahead of him.
Before him? That's fair. But in terms of
drafts, JT was slipping to like the 4th or 5th sometime. Obviously, if Mac got hurt in the preseason or something,
second round pick.
Then JT would have went way higher and he'd been a way bigger bust. But because Mac got hurt week 1, it's a little bit less so of a thing. But Lamar, you expected 25 points per week. And Kyler's been Lamar this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. Thoughts on TJ Chark as a flex? I think that's a very fine flex in my opinion.
Yeah, this week will be a little sketchy because Jair Alexander is most likely going to shadow, but Jair Alexander actually got banged up in that game against the Niners, which I just remembered.
He left the game.
he left the game. So I'm not exactly sure what his status is, but keep an eye on that if you have DJ Chark, because that's a big deal if he's out.
Yeah, I agree. For the record, though, his targets these last few weeks have been very good. 14, 12, and 7. So keep that in mind. Relax, Los. Thoughts for tonight's game?
I mean, it's even worth watching.
That's what I was thinking.
That's the only reason I built a DFS lineup is so I had some reason to watch it.
Yeah. Beep beep, who got the key to the jet room or Jeep? Don't kill me. Whoever keeper, we keep 3 in offseason. 8th to 10th place, 6 seeds make playoffs. We need whoever. For round 4, pick 1. Round 5, pick 1. For Mahomes, Anderson, and round 7, pick 1. First 3 rounds are filled with keepers, which are our best guys. So that would basically be a 7th round pick, a 8th round pick for Mahomes, Robbie Anderson, and a 7th round pick, or in a 10th round pick. So so you're in 8th place out of 10th?
It's a 10-man league. Mahomes is more valuable in a 10-man league because you can usually get depth at other positions a lot easier because there's the waiver wire is more full and stuff. So I do value Mahomes quite a bit more in a 8 or a 10 team league because he has a huge advantage at the position.
Yeah. In my opinion, again, like if you're an 8th out of 10th, you have to realistically ask yourself, okay, is my finish right now or is my standing right now due to bad luck or due to a bad team? You have to honestly, objectively evaluate.
Usually the biggest indication of that is your points for.
Yeah, your points for, your consistency week to week, and your overall roster.
Guys you would consider studs on your team too, because you're probably not going to win a fantasy championship with like 1 or 2 studs on your team.
Yeah,
like for example, my team in my home league, I would consider Deshaun Watson a stud. I would consider AJ Brown a stud. I would consider Alvin Kamara a stud, obviously. And then I have a bunch of other guys that are kind of ascending as studs. I have Mark Andrews at tight end. And maybe you would consider him a stud. I don't really right now. And then, I have a number of other guys like Ayuk and Higgins and J.K. Dobbins and Ronald Jones, CEH, who are not really studs, but they're solid options.
Yeah, no, I agree. So ultimately, I think you got to look at that objectively. You got to be honest with yourself. Don't just have that personal, if you will, self-serving bias that, oh, my team is the best because it's my team. You have to realistically look at it, say, if I acquire these 2 guys, is it going to push me over the top? Not only to make the playoffs, but to be, in my opinion, to realistically say that you have a chance at the championship, you have to realistically look and say, am I a top 3 or 4
look team? At the other teams too.
Yeah, you have to look at the other teams and you say, okay, am I in the top 3 or 4 range? Because if you can make a case for yourself being in the top 3 or 4 area, you definitely have a chance for the championship. Yeah. If you're 5-6, you're scraping.
If there's 3 or 4 teams that are significantly better than yours, you're probably just going to get one and done in the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. So ultimately here, if you can at least see yourself getting to the second round is my kind of area. If you can at least see yourself getting to the second round, then you can make the case to make that move. Dallas is not. Yeah, they are, Tyler. Like they
I mean, I could see. Man, there's some really bad teams out there right now. That I could see the Cowboys locking into 5 wins.
I hope not.
Then you picking. I mean, you get your corner at the back end of the top 10 or something.
Yeah, without getting the value picks of trading down.
Obviously, yeah.
Who should I try to trade A, B, and CEH for?
You got some name value in that trade. So yeah. I mean,
James Robinson.
I don't know if I'd do that.
Really?
Yeah.
James Robinson to me is a top 7 or 8 running back rest of the season.
I think you could get someone better.
Really, eh?
I think you could get Aaron Jones for that.
Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry?
Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, probably not Dalvin Cook. Probably wouldn't give you that. But if you could get, I would go Derrick Henry be the first guy I'd go after because he's had 2 kind of down weeks in a row. Then if you can't get Derrick Henry, I'd probably go after Nick Chubb or Aaron Jones.
Yeah, no, I agree there. Who should I trade? Yes, I'll do that right now.
If anyone is willing to do that, you get Nick Chubb and you say bye-bye to Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, easily. DJ Moore's. Yeah, no, I agree, Nick. I guess the coaching.
It's actually maddening why they're not using DJ Moore more.
Yeah, no, I agree. Would you say Drew Brees is worth starting now that Thomas is back?
I said that. I said that on the Start Sit show that he'd be like a top 16-ish quarterback with Michael Thomas back. I think he's still matchup dependent though. You want to think about Drew Brees in the range of guys like Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, Derek Carr types. Like, don't think of him like Matt Ryan or Tom Brady because he's not really at that point anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree there. I think, top 16 is probably a fair evaluation for him. So this is my friend, Big Pog. Relax.
I cannot stand the New Orleans Saints. I can't stand them. That dance, watching Jameis Winston eat a W in the locker room made me fucking sick. Because I love Jameis Winston. I wanted Jameis to come back, and my only exception was unless Tom Brady comes here. That was literally I'm like, if it's between Jameis Winston or Phillip Rivers or Teddy Bridgewater, I want Jameis Winston every time. But yeah, it's a little unfortunate that we saw that. Hopefully we get the last laugh in a playoff game or something. But yeah, man, not having Marpet was a fucking huge deal last night because Brady had no time.
Agreed. You're punching the air. Had an AC sprain last week. AC sprains are not something to mess with. I mean, we saw it. A lot of people, a lot of Eagles fans, especially when Dak played in that game against the Eagles for the quote unquote division last year, didn't play well. They're like, oh, Dak, blah, 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 bad. He went all week with an AC joint sprain in his shoulder, did not practice, played the game a week after having the sprain, and his shoulder was clearly not in it at all. His shoulder was clearly affected. He could not throw with the typical velocity and placement as he had all year. And yet people just want to diminish the factor of this injury. This is a serious injury. Again, it's going to limit
running back. You got to lower your shoulder and stuff.
Absolutely. Running back, quarterback, you're going to be using that shoulder really a lot. I mean, it's definitely something to monitor. I do think that if they do diagnose it as a hard AC sprain for Christian McCaffrey, he's going to miss 1 or 2 weeks. I mean, that's just kind of inevitable. Yeah. You kind of have to swallow that if you are a CMC owner because he's so dang good. But, I mean, it sucks because I traded for McCaffrey literally 2 weeks into the injury thinking, okay, he'll be back in a couple of weeks and I'll be a championship contender. That team is literally so much potential wasted because ultimately half the team got hurt. I talked about that multiple times, but I'm not going to get
We should probably rip through these questions because the game's starting. But one thing I just wanted to say is one of the most fascinating storylines to me of the offseason is where Sam Darnold ends up.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I can see the Niners.
I think it's Colts, Steelers. There's a lot of teams, Saints maybe. Maybe. There's a lot of teams that I could see Sam Darnold fitting in well. And I think he's still a good quarterback. He was my second-rated quarterback in that class, and I thought he was a great prospect. So I kind of want to see what happens.
Agreed. Thoughts on trading Fulgham for Kareem Hunt? I would actually, again, if you need running back, I'm fine with doing that. Especially.
Oh, yeah, I'd take Kareem Hunt for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Rate my team. Oh, yeah, you're looking nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to roster 2 defenses is really my suggestion.
I think he said either, or is that both?
I think he probably owns both. They're both good defenses. If you can get anything for either, I know some home leagues, people will trade stuff for defenses. If you can get just an upside swing, even if you want to trade him for Jalen Reagor or Henry Ruggs or something like that.
I will be talking about
at someone for an upside receiver on someone's bench, and maybe if they need a defense, they might take that.
Hey, you guys can watch the waiver show as well, but I'm going to be talking a good bit about Jalen Reagor this week because if he's still available, again, he's still available right now in 76% of leagues. Go pick him up. There's so much volume available for that team that ultimately there's no reason not to, in my opinion. As a Raiders fan, I was happy to see. There you go. Oh, man. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I can echo that.
I mean, you guys might need a quarterback, so it might not be a sad season to be a Niners fan. It might be a good thing that you guys are losing right now because you might have been stuck in mediocrity with Jimmy Garoppolo. I know you made the Super Bowl last year, but your defense probably wasn't going to repeat that same performance, nor was your rushing game again this year. So it's probably a good thing that you might be in the quarterback market because you might have been stuck at they're a contender, but not a Super Bowl contender, kind of where the Vikings always are. You don't really want to be stuck in that quarterback purgatory, which I think is what Jimmy G kind of is.
Agree. So he said John Brown had 17.9, D-Rob had 10.4. So yeah, basically echoed what I said. In a standard league, would you guys trade Hopkins, Edmonds, and Dobbins for Aaron Jones and someone else on the team? My receivers are loaded and I need help. I would need to know who that someone else is because it would be a pretty significant addition in my opinion. Because again, Hopkins, Dobbins, and Edmonds are all really good, valuable pieces. Now, I like going after Jones, but I would need someone.
I probably would need someone to pull it back, like Terry McLaurin or something like that.
No, that's what I mean. A top 20 receiver potentially could even that out in my opinion. But yeah. I've got this, Brian. Yes. Oh, yes.
Absolutely. This is the thing with home leagues. People see names and they're like, oh, Des Bryant's on the Ravens. They need receivers. They just make this connection in their head and oh my God, Rashad Perriman's snapping. Oh, it's Denzel Mims. Fuck.
Oh, 26-yard catch. Damn. Did I put him in my lineup last night? No, I didn't. Okay. Well, rip me. I have 4 Pats and 1
crap. Yeah. I played the wrong Jets receiver.
You put him in last second. Echo worth keep at this point. Absolutely.
Full PPR is
Hopefully.
sketchy.
I hope so. I don't think it
lost.
happens, but
I think you lost.
yeah, same. Crowder's usually a steady 10 to 20 points, so I don't know. Oh, he was answering.
In a full PPR, you could probably book Crowder for 10 points minimum, and then Cam should get that much too. It'll be probably a miracle if you win that game.
If you have the wide receiver depth to deal with that, I would absolutely upgrade Aaron Jones to Alvin Kamara. Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, kind of a wash in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Ridley and Marvin Jones, pretty big difference though.
Agreed with that. Again, like it all depends on how your receiver depth is.
If you have a bunch of guys on your bench like Ayuk and Jerry Jeudy and T. Higgins or something like that, I don't mind it.
Yeah, agreed. Traded Thielen and Anderson for Tyreek 2 weeks ago. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah,
if you have the depth to deal with that.
Start to heat up with Jefferson starting to get some attention.
Yeah, agreed. Do y'all do a league with viewers? Because I definitely. So we currently have a redraft league and a dynasty league with viewers. We're definitely going to be incorporating more for next offseason.
What we're probably going to do is like buyers of our draft guide or whatever are probably going to get like an entry to be in the listener league, or we might have like a package of our draft guide that includes
Patreon
or whatever.
Yeah,
Patreon, something like that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but we definitely will be doing a listener league, and we'll probably do a dynasty league or something too.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I already checked that, Patrick. Don't worry, I'll get that to you after the live stream.
He had 6 targets yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah, he had 6 targets.
They weren't good targets, but
thoughts on players at running back. I would say you're definitely weak at running back, but thoughts who you can get. Again, if you can turn Connor and
Gurley's the guy I'm trading. If you can trade one, because
Gurley or Connor.
Gurley's schedule is bad, and he has a bye coming up.
If you could realistically turn like Gurley and Moss into
Nick Chubb,
yeah, I would do that. Yeah, okay, he knows. Appreciate that, Javon. Glad to hear that you're 7-2 and rocking it really well.
I should be 7-2, but you guys know about my bad beats.
Fuck the Pats. Go Pats. Cam Newton, 29 points. Hopefully he's in my MVP slot in my showdown lineup. Should I trade Carson and Higgins from Cleveland for Aaron Jones and Marvin Jones? Yeah. Oh, Higgins from Cleveland. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking T. Higgins, and then when he said Higgins from Cleveland, I'm like, oh, absolutely. What the heck? I got DK from.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Jesus.
Oh, that's so bad, dude. Someone in my league though, they traded DeAndre Hopkins and Chris Carson for Raheem Mostert and Aaron Rodgers after week 1.
Yeah,
brutal
animal. My boy Nate, he's a Vikings fan. Kirk Cousins the GOAT. I have no problem with you saying that. I think that's a fine assumption.
I think they're about probably pretty similar. Kirk Cousins probably better though. Yeah,
probably around like B tier type quarterbacks in that.
They're probably C tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably like in that 16 to 22 type range. I would say is probably where they are.
Kirk Cousins probably on the higher end of the 16 to 22 range.
Oh, absolutely. Hashtag skull. Another friend Pog. Where does Trubisky go next year?
XFL.
Yeah. CFL.
I don't think anyone's gonna want Trubisky, to be honest. I'm pretty sure I don't remember when this story came out, but after the Bears traded up for Trubisky, people were like, oh, like there was no threat of that actually like being a thing, like where teams were gonna take him ahead of where like because apparently the Bears were like the highest on him of any team. Apparently
what happened was the Niners were threatening like
apparently just dropped a touchdown.
Fuck. Hopefully it goes to Jameson Crowder now.
No. Actually, I have Crowder too, so that's fine.
Apparently what ended up happening is there was a lot of hype, a lot of buzz that the Niners were interested in Trubisky going into that draft because they ended up getting Garoppolo later in the season, right? Mid-season. There was a lot of hype going into it that they were interested in Trubisky, and there was a lot of hype with the Browns that they were going to take Garrett at 1 and then ultimately go up and trade back up for Trubisky.
Imagine if they did that.
For the record, I mean, the Bears have to be smart enough to realize if the Browns like Trubisky that much, I don't care who's on the board, you take him at 1.
Didn't the Browns trade out of Watson and Mahomes? No one talks about that enough.
The Bills did it too. The Bills traded the pick that was Mahomes.
Like the Browns were at 10, right? In that draft, second pick. Yeah. And they picked Garrett at 1 and the Texans traded up with the Browns and they effectively passed on Mahomes and Watson.
Yeah, it was them, and then the Bills, the next pick at 11, traded the pick to the Chiefs that ended up being Patrick Mahomes for 2 first-rounders.
I think if the Browns had picked Watson there, that like would have turned their franchise around. With Garrett and Watson in that class, that's ridiculous.
I mean, again, too, if you're looking at it from the Bills' perspective, obviously, like losing the best overall player in the NFL fucking stinks. We get that. But what they did with their draft capital, you got to give them credit for because they ended up getting Trey White at that 27th overall pick and profiting a first rounder. So realistically, if you're not sold at the quarterback there, you're not sold that Patrick Mahomes is going to be that guy, getting a potential all-pro corner.
The other first rounder ended up being Tremaine Edmonds.
So, I mean, obviously you lost that trade, but at the end of the day here, you still ended up with Josh Allen. So realistically, you're fine at the quarterback position. And you ended up with two really good players on defense.
And then the Bills traded up with us when we traded down for Vea. The second rounders that they traded us ended up being Carlton Davis, and the third rounder ended up being
Bunting. Oh, third rounder. Oh,
the third rounder ended up being Kappa, who's a starting right guard for us. So
yeah, solid,
pretty solid.
Those are just bad trades on the other end. Like Mosh, we know this. Like
Mari Singletary and shit. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like they're not good offers. They're just bad deals from the other person. I've already gone through that. Like, oh, by the way, you know when Julio was hurt, he messaged me and he's like, I'll offer you Singletary straight up for Julio. I'm like, no. Like he's like, well, according to CBS trade chart, Singletary actually has just as much value as Julio. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what a trade start says, especially CBS.
Yeah, that guy needs to be fired. Whoever had that.
Like, you guys appreciate that canal.
Follow. You know, I'm going to be taking my victory lap on the Start Sit show this week when I said, because Jerry Jeudy, I was like, I had him in all my DFS lineups too, and he helped me win some money. Him in the lock stack, they won me some money.
And no lie, I got to give myself a little toot on the horn as well, because in order, obviously this was easy to predict, but in order, my top three running backs in the week were Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, all snapped. I mean, that's pretty easy to say, but realistically, just getting it in that exact order is pretty nice.
Kamara didn't do
hey, you got like 15, 16 points, so it's not too bad there.
It's like his lowest of the season.
Oh, and I get that, but like the drop off between the top two and the rest of the running back rankings this week was fucking insane. Like over double. Anyways,
Henry would have been kind of a bum. So.
Yeah. Good night. Appreciate that, Javon. See you next stream. Hunter Henry or Dallas Goedert this week. Give me Dallas Goedert all day, every day. Again, I've said this so many times.
I'm on board.
Yeah. I said this in the recap show as well. I've been pounding the table on this all fucking these last 6 weeks or so. Hunter Henry is a mid tight end to a best. He's a guy who's not going to put up a ton of yards and also isn't going to score touchdowns. So realistically, what does he do for you?
Exactly.
Yeah. Fuck off with the Eagles. I don't even want to watch this game.
Of football.
After trades, my wide receivers is Devontae Keenan. Oh my god.
You have 4 top 10 receivers, maybe top 8.
Yeah, easily. Relax there. Good negotiator. Had to try to get Julio
already.
I more so found it disrespectful that you thought I could flip you Julio for that. Anyways, yeah, you're going to be lucky if Christian McCaffrey misses the game because I've only had him for 1 game overall this season. And on bye week, I have CD Lamb, Julio Jones, and Denzel Mims next week. So, facts. I mean, my depth is going to be retarded. Or I shouldn't say that online.
Talking about this, dude, you're a Michigan fan. Why is Michael on Wayhu or whatever his name is the best fucking rookie in the league?
Oh, no, he's always had talent. Again, I think I had him a 3rd round grade on him. He's definitely a good lineman. I didn't expect this type of ceiling from him.
Better than worse, to be honest.
Debatable. It's worse. Yeah. No, he's definitely been the best interior lineman. Him and Caesar Ruiz as well. Right, he's playing tackle for them?
Yeah, it just said on this thing that he's playing tackle.
I haven't watched him in the league yet. I know he played guard at Michigan, so it's interesting to see that he actually did make that maneuver to tackle.
Yeah, they showed the starting lineup or whatever, and it said rookie right tackle for maybe they moved him out there. I'm not sure, but
interesting. Yeah. No,
he was playing guard to start the season.
Yeah, he was a guard when he got drafted. So that's curious. Maybe due to injury that they flex him out there. He's just been good.
Is Ashton Davis the only rookie or the only white DB in the league?
Harrison Smith.
Oh, right. There hasn't been a white corner since Jason Sehorn though, so it's fine.
I was gonna say, is there a white corner currently in the league that's
Jason Sehorn is literally the last white corner to start an NFL game.
Really?
In 2006.
No, is that legit?
That's a legit stat.
What the heck? That's crazy.
I know.
Who else would?
CMC can play corner.
Yeah, facts. I mean, yeah. Holy crap! By the way, Mike Evans had a 33% advantage on Marshawn Lattimore this week.
What?
Mike Evans had a 33% advantage on Marshawn Lattimore. Not when he was covered by Marshawn though.
Let me check.
No. He was covered. I saw the stat got tweeted out by Next Gen Stats. He was guarded by Marshawn Lattimore on 68% of snaps. On those snaps that Marshawn guarded him, he had, I think, 3 targets and no catches.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Again, it was a bad game overall for the.
Two of those targets, those red zone ones, were like 50-50 balls. So
Fair.
like they're like fade routes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of got schooled on the one fade route.
Yeah.
He's in my lineup. So
maybe. I faded him because he seemed a little too chalky, but we'll see what happens. I did mix him.
I put Burkhead in. Burkhead's every time the Patriots are doing a showdown, I always play Burkhead because he's the GOAT.
Yeah, Steve-O, I'm not a big fan of that move overall for you, to be honest there, brother.
Yeah.
You gave up the 2 best assets in that deal. Mixon and Allen.
Yeah. I would have kept Mixon and Allen for sure.
Stud, they moved the he's getting hyped over Michael Onwenu.
Oh, Cannon opted out.
Oh, yeah. Doing. Hopefully this is a week that's an L for you because again, my run
doesn't suck ass this week because I traded Gronk for him. Luckily, Gronk sucked ass too, but
my team in that league is like I talk about it all the time. It's been absolutely decimated by injuries. I'm 2-7 right now, and if you heard this roster, I don't think you'd believe me. Miles Sanders, Christian McCaffrey, Myles Gaskin, Justin Jackson. Who else were my running backs? Let me just double check right now. One of the most insane teams like you'll ever hear, and it's 2-7 because all these players have missed time at some point this season.
Yep.
I don't know what's happening. Okay, so I got it right now. Running back. So in my lineup this week, Christian McCaffrey. I still got to take Justin Jackson out. J.K. Dobbins, Jerick McKinnon, Miles Sanders, Saquon Barkley on injured reserve, Myles Gaskin on injured reserve right now. Receivers: Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Denzel Mims. Like I don't know.
Myers tackled inside the 5.
Oof. Damon Harris time.
3-yard bomb, and he got tackled inside the 5. That would have been great because I have Cam as the fucking MVP too, so that would have been a nice little stack.
Wait, what? Oh, he just repeated the question. Yeah, here, look at our Twitters right now. DM us on there so we can give a little more time to actually evaluate it because it's kind of confusing in terms of the overall language in the question. So DM us on Twitter. You can see our Twitters above here.
If you missed the answer, basically was you need to take like a good, long, hard look at your team and say, can I compete with Mahomes and Anderson? Because if you're not one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the league with those guys, then it's not worth doing the trade because you're giving up quite a bit for next year. And if you're in 8th place right now, I'm almost, let's go. Cam just ran it in. Let's go.
MVP. Dan, I'm telling you, just did he do a good play? Super.
Read option to Burkhead.
No. Oh, did he throw it?
No, he it was a read option and he ran it in. Oh shit, he got I think he's down.
I have Damon Harris regardless, so I'm good here. My running backs are Connor Mixon. I think you're pretty set, man. Maybe like Jacobs and a receiver, and you can get Henry. Other than that, I mean, I think you're pretty good there.
Yeah.
I get it, but like I understand it. Mosh, I understand it's a big improvement, but some of the trades you made are just bad on the other end.
Yeah.
Like that Lamar for Tyreek just made no sense either way you put it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it hurts.
Sad times for Greg right there.
No, I think the touchdown counted. So
not for Jacoby Myers though.
No, for Cam.
Oh,
it looked like he was tackled short for a second, but he was in.
Yeah, I agree. What can I package? Yeah, I agree. If you can package Hunter Henry and maybe like a wide receiver 3 and upgrade your tight end position, like I would do that. Let me think names off the top.
After like Gronk or Jonnu or Andrews, maybe.
Noah Fant.
Noah Fant would be a good
someone like that
too.
Yeah. Skull. There you go. Nate.
If Irv Smith, spicy hot taco, if Irv Smith's on your waiver wire, go get him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm going to talk about Irv Smith. Maybe Dallas Goedert is available. Also, if you guys are playing in Yahoo leagues right now, I'm going to mention in the waiver show. He's not going to be one of the top waivers because I think it's kind of silly that he's not owned in 50%. But owned in 49% of the leagues right now, Bush, is Jimmy Graham. 49%.
What?
Under 50%. Again, he's not going to be a waiver claim, for me because I think it should be obvious that he should be owned at this point. But I'm going to briefly mention, like, why is he available in over 50% of leagues?
Exactly.
He's been a top 8 tight end this year, at a shallow position.
Kyler Murray has not finished outside the top
I saw that.
10 quarterbacks. That's ridiculous.
And four of the weeks he's finished in the top 3 overall, I think it was.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's finished as a top 6 quarterback every game except for one.
Yeah. You guys
think ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's what Lamar was doing last year.
Yeah, no, he is this year's Lamar. You guys think Eckler will be back this week? He's not going to be back this week.
They're not going to shut him down. I hate that narrative. People always say that. They're like, oh, they're like out of it, so they're going to shut him down. That only applies in like week 17. Like that doesn't apply in week 12 or it's week 9 this week or week 10 this week. They're not going to shut him down in week 10.
Yeah, no, I agree. So Nick says just offer Jacobs and AJ Brown for Henry. Hopefully they accept. Probably won't though.
For Derrick Henry,
I think that's probably around fair. If you have the depth,
fair. That's almost. I'd almost take your side though. It's
I mean, if you have the depth to be able to deal with that, like again, if you have like guys like T. Higgins,
you're giving up two top 10 guys at their position.
Yeah. I would need to hear your overall roster, but I think if they're in a position that they need depth, they should be taking that deal for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
right, he's probably get your last second questions in, and then we'll get out of here because the game's. I mean, if anyone cares about the game, but.
Wait, so Jimmy Graham's on your waiver wire? Absolutely, drop Jordan Reed for him. Absolutely. We don't even know if Jordan Reed's going to be the starter the rest of the season because Ross Bradley outperformed him.
You absolutely drop Jordan Reed for Jimmy Graham.
And then my boy Soy say, "What's up, big guy? Finally caught a stream. Appreciate that. We'll get some Among Us rolling probably tomorrow night because I got to record after the game."
Really ethnic sounding friends. You got what is Lazardo? Soy is it like they got some pretty heat names.
Oh yeah, my boy Soy. Literally, this guy moved to Canada in grade 6. Fucking ever since then, one of my best friends there. So respect seeing you in the stream there, boss. We'll definitely. By the way, this guy is an Among Us god because he's one of the smartest people ever meet. This guy, literally, full ride Waterloo mechatronics. Like he's yeah. Let's get through these last couple though. Appreciate seeing you in the stream though. Who do I start this week? Pick 2: Godwin, Brown, Connor, or Tyler Boyd. You
don't sit AJ Brown, and you don't sit James Conner. So those are the two I'm going with.
There you go. I would have said the same. Devontae, Keenan. Yeah. Oh, with those receivers, I'm definitely fine with making that move to upgrade.
Oh yeah, with Jacobs getting rid of AJ Brown. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Bush.
Yes.
He's gonna get into it. On my week, currently 3-6 with a 2% chance at playoffs. By the way, don't look at the actual percentage on playoffs on like ESPN or Yahoo and stuff because realistically, there's so many changing dynamic factors week to week that you can't predict something like that. At that point, you have to objectively look at your team and say, okay, I'm 3-6 here. Could I realistically finish the season 6-7 or 7-6 and make that push? Should I drop Evan Ingram? Yeah, I would have already done that for the record. So I think Scary Terry, to be honest, is a buy low. Frankly,
I'm not. I talked about Scary Terry on the trade targets vid. He has great schedule coming up, just great. And not only that, but I think I said in that video, he's faced a shadow corner in like every game this season, and he has none for the rest of the season. 0.
Yeah. Relax. See you, Spicy. T. Higgins for Steelers, Adam Thielen versus Bears next week. I'm still going to go with Thielen, but like...
Not a good matchup, but I'm still going to play Thielen.
Yeah. Relax, Tyler. That's why I always dominate an imposter in the lobbies we play with. So you need to chill out with that little Dan slander, and Bush will chill out with the Pat slander, if you will. But yeah, we're going to head off over an hour. We kind of dipped 20 minutes into the game. I still got to get that waiver show recorded, ready for you guys tomorrow morning. So I'm going to head out, but yeah, Bush is going to head out too. But anyways, take care, y'all.
Easy.